Hello and welcome to episode 133 of Daryl Show Your Work. All right, so in this episode, I'm going to show how by doing a seemingly simplistic task such as banner grabbing can actually lead to us finding an attacker's point of entry. So this is not necessarily an atypical situation that that you would find as a cyber defender or as a pen tester, but it's one that is probable. And I wanted to just show some ways other than just enumeration as far as why banner grabbing is important. All right, so starting out here, I've already done some pre-recording discovery here. We got our target's IP address is at 10.3.21.37. All right, so this should be a fairly short video. Not really going to be jumping into any sort of exploitation of anything, but it's just staying more on the enumeration side of things. But still equally as important. All right, so I'm gonna start off by running an nmap scan, and I'm gonna choose to scan the ports 1 through 10,000. All right, and I'm gonna save this to a document in normal format. So in order to do that, I'm gonna say nmap dash lowercase s uppercase v for a service scan, and here's where I'm going to specify the ports that I want to scan. I'm gonna say 1 through 10,000. All right, and then I'm gonna give it the target host's IP, and then tell nmap what format I want to save the output in as far as the documentation. So dash lowercase o uppercase n is normal format, and I'm going to name the document nmap underscore 10K. All right, then I'm going to save that as a txt file. All right, so let's get that running. And I'm gonna definitely have to move this over here because the output is, I know, is going to be rather lengthy. There we go. All right. It's going to be rather long because of how long the scan is, but there's a method to my madness here. So I want to be able to do a scan like this to be able to find some ports, some less commonly used ports here, um, to see what services may be running on those, which is a good practice to do. And instead of just running on common ports, you want to be able to see um, if um, if you have some protocols or anything running on um, less frequently occupied ports that should be, good practice. It should be locking down those ports if they're not in use to lock those down. Um, but it's good to see what's actually in use from a scan. So just waiting a few more seconds here. All right. Finally, all right, so let's take a look at the output here. All right, so as suspected, we got quite a few ports open here. So the main ones that I want to focus on here are the ones where we have some services running, but those services have question marks on them. So meaning as if the nmap is to say that, hey, I believe it's this, but I'm not 100% sure. So we want to be able to get some verification on exactly what is running on these ports, and the way we can do that is by conducting some banner grabbing with netcat. All right, so I'm going to be banner grabbing. Let's see. Um, um, 512, 513. I could also do 514 as well. And then also 1524. All right, so in order to get that started, let's go back down to our actual command line. All right, so I'm going to say NC for netcat. All right, then N, all right, for ignoring DNS resolution, and V for verbose. All right, so we get some information back, and then I'm gonna give it the IP address of our target host. All right, then I want to specify the port that I wanted to return information for, and that's 512. So let's see if we get anything back. All right, so nothing back there. Just basically just let me know that, hey, that port is open and it's running exact kind of same thing that netcat, excuse me, nmap told me. All right, so I'm going to run that command again. This time, let's run it against 513. Same thing, log in, open. So again, not really telling me much else other than what nmap has already told me. All right, so I'm gonna run that again on 14. For 14 says it's a shell. All right, so that's some interesting information. All right, so but doesn't really tell me a whole lot, but interesting nonetheless. And then let's see. Then we said the last one here. What that was 1524, I believe. So it's 1524. All right, look at there. All right. So as soon as I that was the ingress lock. All right. So that name in itself is very suspicious. As soon as I did a netcat command on that to grab the banner, I automatically gained root access to this machine. So what appears to be going on here is actually the port is appears to be a bind shell listener. So you remember a few videos ago, I actually did it's a couple of videos on bind shells and reverse shells, where a bind shell actually has to be on the targets on the listening on the targets end, and this needs to be something executed on the attacker's end in order to make that connection. All right, so apparently there was a listener open on the target, and when I did this banner grabbing with netcat, I executed the bind shell and was able to establish a connection automatically with the target host. So this is indicative of perhaps an attacker leaving that bind shell listener open on this port. So at any time they wanted to, all they had to do is pretty much do the same thing I did. And by banner grabbing, I was able to find that point of entry. Now, how common is this? Probably not very common, but it's an example of how doing a simple task as banner grabbing could indeed find an indicator, a compromise, or a point of entry of an attacker. All right, so and just making sure that this is um, a good session here. I'm gonna list out the contents of the directory. All right, so we can see all the different folders in there. All right, and let's say I wanted to see what operating system is running on our target host. So I would just say Etsy um, star release. All right, we can see all the operating system information here that is running Ubuntu 8.04. All right, and then let's say that I want to go to the home directory. since we know there's a home folder. All right, I'm on the home directory. If I list out the contents there, all right, so we can see. All right, we have FTP folder, MSF admin folder, service folder, and user folder. All right, so that's just again, I told you this is going to be a really a short video, but wanted to show kind of hone in on the fact of why banner grabbing is important and some of the results that could come from that. Again, it's a less common outcome, but it is possible, and it shows you how an attacker can set up a mechanism of persistence and how that could be found by doing a banner grab using an application such as a netcat and establishing that connection with our remote host, where that may have not even been our intention, just may have been simply to enumerate details, but we got like a lot further here in the kill chain as far as compromising a host. All right, so please like, share, and subscribe. Most importantly, show your work. And until next time, take care of yourself and God bless.